Welcome back, and in this lesson we are going to learn how to sketch a graph of an equation. What it means exactly this is giving a function, let's say y equal x squared, so it giving a function y equal x squared, so it's y of x equal x squared. It means that if you have the set of point x here, let's say the 1 is transformed by the function y of 1 in the number 1. If you take the 2 is being transformed. It's a machine. The function takes the number 2 and transform into 4. So, and the 3 is being transformed into the 9. So y equal x squared. How you plot this in a graph, in a Cartesian plane, x and y? Well, you plug the number. So the x is the 1. And when the x is the 1, the y is the 1. So you make a table, x and y. If the x is 1, the y is 1. If the x is 2, the y is 4. If the x is 3, the y is 9. So when the x is 1, the y is 1, it performs this point. When the x is 2, the y is 4. 2, 3, and 4, let's say here. Okay, and this is the point 2, 4. And the point 3, 9 is somewhere like this, and the graph is the part of the parabola. If you do from x equal minus 1, it will do like this. So we will practice how to do these things. What is the second thing that we will do? We will find the intersection of a graph, find the intercepts of a graph. The intercept to whom? To the x and to the axis. To the x-axis and to the y-axis. For example, imagine that you have this graph. This graph is a rectilinear line, and it's the rectilinear line that passes through the point. Let's say that this is the point 3, 0, 3, and this is the point 3, 0. There is a rectilinear line that passes through these 2 points. What is the equation of the rectilinear line that passes through this point? Well, first of all, I have to find the m, the slope. The slope, if this is x1, y1, x2, y2, what is the slope? The slope is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. What is the slope? Minus 1. What is the equation? The equation is y equal y1 plus m multiplied by x minus x1. So it will be y equal y1. Who is y1? Y1 is 3. Who is m? Minus 1. X minus x1 minus 0. So the equation will be y equal minus x plus 3. And this equation intersects the x-axis at this point, at the point 3, 0. And intersects the y-axis at the point 0, 3. The y-axis is this one, and intersect. How we will find, given this equation, how we will find the point of intersection? How we will find this point of intersection given this equation? Well, given this equation, we realize that when we arrive to this point, the y become smaller and smaller and smaller, and when we arrive to the point of intersection, the y is 0. So we impose on this equation the fact that y equals 0. So if y equals 0, then 0 equals minus x plus 3, then means that x equals 3. Oh, I found the point. I found x equals 3, y, 0. how you will find this point? You impose that the x should be 0. So this is the second part, the second thing that we are going to practice. And the third thing is to test for symmetry. For example, if we have test for symmetry respect to an axis, for example, we can have this function, y equal x squared, with the symmetry respect to the y-axis. Why is symmetry? Because I choose one point, the point x. I see the value of the height of the point x. The value of the point x is x squared. I choose another point that is symmetrical respect to the y-axis. So I choose the point minus x. So if this is 3, this is minus 3. And I see the height, and the height are the same. Is minus 3 squared means 9 also, and here is 9, so there is a symmetry. So if f of x is equal to f of minus x, means symmetry respect to the y-axis. Okay, so we are going to find the slope of a line passing through 2 points. This you already know. We are going to write the equation given the slope and given a point. Very easy, you already know how to do it. Maybe this part you don't know. Write the equation of the lines that are parallel or perpendicular to a given line. We will practice this on the problem. Find the domain and the range of a function. Let's go to do problems. The problems are here. There are 3 advice that I give you. The first advice is you may set up the speed of the recording to 1.5. It will not be a big difference, but the difference will be that the video will be shorter in time for you. So you can catch all the ideas at 1.5, why not? The second advice that I do is please try to do the problems before see the solution. You try by yourself to do the problems. And the third advice is if you feel that you did the problems and you feel that you are not sure of what you have done, you don't see clearly the solution of the problem, please see the video solution of the problem, maybe number 7. You go to number 7 and you see the solution. I hope this kind of video will be very helpful. It was helpful for many of my students. They appreciate this video. I hope that you do. Okay, here on the last page are the 2 equations that you need to know. This is the point slope equation, which say that y equal y1 plus m multiplied by x minus x1. This is the equation of a rectilinear line that is passing through the point P, x1, comma, y1 with a slope m. If the point on consideration is the point 0, comma, y1, so it's this point, the point of intersection with the y-axis, the equation will be y equal y1 plus m by x. If I take the point P to be the point that is the point of intersection with the y-axis, this equation becomes this equation. And normally the y1 is called the v. So this is the rectilinear line. So the equation is b plus m multiplied by x. That is the second equation that is named the slope-intercept equation. Okay, we have problems here to solve. You can see the example 1, how it's solved. You can see the example 2, how it's been solved. You can see this example, how it's been solved. And what we are going to do is to solve the problems here. Problems are here. So let's go to the first. You should try before seeing the solution how every problem is being solved. So let's go to do problem number 1. Problem number 1 say like this. Okay, let's go to sketch the graph of this function. So we plug in numbers, the x and the y. We do a table, the x and the y. What happens if x is 0? If x is 0, y is 4. What happens if x is 1? If x is 1, y is 3. What happens if x is 2? If x is 2, y is 0. This is an intersection with the x-axis. What happens if x is minus 1? If x is minus 1 squared is 1, 4 minus 1 is 3. Oh, it looks that it's going to be a symmetrical respect to the y-axis. What happens if x is minus 2? Minus 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. It's going to be symmetrical. Okay, let's go to plug in these numbers. 0, 4. Where is the point x equals 0, y equals 4? Well, it's 0 is here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Y equals 4 is here. So this is the point 0, 4. What is the point 1, 3? 1 is here, and the point 1, 3 is here. What is the point 2, 0? 2, 0 is the point here. What is the point minus 1, 3? Minus 1 is here, and the 3 is here. You see the symmetry now. And minus 2, 0 is this point. And what is the graph? The graph is an inverted parabola that does like this. Perfect. So we have graphed this equation. Let's go to graph another equation to practice. What if I tell you that the equation is x of y equal y squared? So what it means y of x and what it means x of y. Let's go to learn this concept. y of x means that you take an x and you assign a y. So, for example, in this case, I take an x, let's say the x equal 1, and I have assigned a y, the 3. What it means x of y? It means that you take a y and you assign an x. So let's go to plugging to plot this equation, x of y equal y squared. So now we do a table. So first of all, let's go to put the system of coordinates. So yeah, I have already placed the system of coordinates. So now we do a table y and x. So for each y, I assign an x. What happens if y equals 0? If y equals 0, the x is 0 because 0 squared is 0, so the x is 0. Y equals 0 means x equals 0. What happens if y is 1? See, if y is 1, the x is 1 squared, so it's 1. What happens if y is 2? If y is 2, the x is 2 squared, which is 4. What happens if x is minus 1? If y is minus 1, if y is minus 1, the x is 1. And if the y is minus 2, the x is minus 2 squared, which is 4. Let's go to plug in this number. If y is equal 1, this number, if y is equal 1, the x is 1. If y is 2, the x is 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. If y is 3, the x will be 9. Will be like this, 9 meters in the x direction. If x is 0, y is 0. But if the y is minus 1, the x will be 1. If the y is minus 2, the x will be 4. And now, what you think that will look the equation that will pass through all these points? 9. It will be a parabola, but the parabola will look like this. This is the equation, x of y equal y squared. So you have learned how to draw functions, but this is not a function. X of y equal y of square is not a function. Why? Because we need to assign for every x one y. And in this function, for this x, for example, the x equal 1, there are two values of y equal 1 and y equal, for this x, the x is equal 1 here. For this x equal 1, there are two values, y equal 1 and y equal minus 1. When this happens, we don't have a function because we want to model things that will give only one output. For every x will produce one output. But in this case, for every x, you produce two outputs. And this, mathematically speaking, is like you make an investment, you put the money on interest, and you have two different outputs. It cannot be possible. So the idea is that you have only one output. So this kind of xy of equation is not a function. F of y equal y squared is not a function. Now we have another problem. Find the intersection of the graph of the equation y of x. Now y of x is x multiplied by the square root of 60 minus x squared. Whenever you see a square root, what is inside the square root should be positive, because the square root of something negative have no sense. So because it has no sense, you have to impose the fact that these have to be bigger or equal than of 0. Have to be bigger or equal than 0. So 16 minus x squared should be bigger than 0. If you plug in, for example, x equal 5, 60 minus 5 squared minus 25 is not bigger than 0, it's negative. This cannot be because a square root of a negative number doesn't exist. So we need to find the intercepts of this graph. So let's go to do it. When intersection with the x-axis, intersection with the x-axis. When it will happen, this intersection? It will happen when y equals 0. So 0 equal x multiplied by the square root of 16 minus x squared. So if I work with this equation, I will have 0 equal x. Now 16 is 4 squared minus x squared. Now if I work a little bit, the algebra with this equation will be the square root. Now remember what I said in the previous video. A squared minus b squared if a plus b multiplied by a minus b. So here will be the a will be the 2. It will be the 4. a squared minus b squared will be 4 minus x multiplied by 4 plus x. So this should be equal 0. How this will be 0? There are certain possibilities for which this is 0. The first possibility if x is 0. If x is 0, this is 0. 0 by something will be 0. What is the second possibility? If 4 minus x is 0. If 4 minus x is 0, 4 minus x is 0, 0 by something will be 0. Okay. And what is the third possibility? The third possibility is if 4 plus x is 0. If 4 plus x is 0, then this will be 0. 4 plus x will be 0. 0 by something will be 0. And something that is 0 multiplied by something will be 0. So the first thing, we have the first option is that x equals 0. The second option, so the point P will be the point 0. And because y is 0, you see the y is 0 here. 0, 0. Here, the point will be 4 equal x. So x equal 4. So the point will be the point 4, 0. And in this solution, 4 will be equal minus x. So the x will be minus 4. So the point will be minus 4, 0. These are the 3 points that intersect with the x-axis. Now, what is important to detect the point of intersection of this function y of x equal x multiplied by square root of 16 minus x squared y? Well, because you know that these are the point of intersection, these 3 points, the point 0, 0, the point 4, 0, and the point minus 4, 0. And you know very easily that y of 1, when x is equal 1, the value is the square root of 16 minus 1 squared, which is 1, so the value is the square root of 15, which is positive. So here, the value is square root of 15. 15 is less than 4. So the value is something like this here, less than 4. So how the graph you will graph? When x equal minus 1, what is y of minus 1? It will be x minus 1 multiplied by square root of 16 minus 1 squared. It will be x square root of 15, so it will be minus a square root of 15. So in minus 1, the value will be almost minus 4. It will be like this. It will be symmetrical. But how you think that the graph will do? Well, it has to go from here to here. It has to go somewhere to a maximum and has to go here. It has to go like this. To go so maximum and have to come back to cross the intersection. So this graph is the graph of this function, but there is a small detail. You have to erase this part. Why? Because if you go outside of the interval between minus 4 and 4, the function is not defined. Because I need to have 16 minus x squared greater than 0. So I need 16 to be greater than x squared. Or I need x between minus 4 and 4. Okay. Let's go to the next problem. The third problem say find, given this equation y of x equal x squared divided by x squared plus 1, we have to check for symmetry with respect to the x's. Normally, when it appears an x squared, there is a symmetry respect to the y-axis. So let's go to prove that y of x equal y of minus x. So what it means that you take the point x and the point minus x and the y are the same. So this means that is symmetry respect to the y-axis. If for every x that you take the y and this new x and this minus x, the both y are the same, are at the same height, then there is a symmetry. So let's go to find if this is the case for this example. Let's go to erase here. So let's go to C. What is y of x? Y of x is x squared divided by x squared plus 1. What is y of minus x? Y of minus x is when you plug in wherever you see the x, you plug in minus x. So I see an x squared here. So I will plug in minus x squared. I see the x here on the denominator. Wherever it is the x, I will plug in minus x squared plus 1. And now I will say, what is minus x squared? Is minus x multiplied by minus x. What is minus x multiplied by minus x is x squared. So the same thing here and the same thing here. So I have proved that y of x is equal y of minus x. You can plug in y of 3 will be equal to y of minus 3. Yes. Y of 3 is 3 squared divided by 3 squared plus 1. And y of minus 3 is minus 3 squared divided by minus 3 squared plus 1. But minus 3 squared is 3 squared. And minus 3 squared is again 3 squared plus 1. But this is the same than this. So it happens for every x. So the function is symmetry. Let's go to the next problem. Okay, this problem say they give you two graphs. What is the first equation? The first equation is x squared plus y equals 6, or in other words, y equals 6 minus x squared. And you have experience with this equation. You know that this equation is a parabola that is inverted. And at the x equals 0, the y is 6. Okay, and the other equation is x plus y equal 4. So you know that the y is 4 minus x. And again, you have experience with this equation. This is the equation of a rectilinear line that have the slope is here, mx, m. The m is minus 1. And this is when x is equal 0, y equal 4. So the equation will be for here, 4 minus x, the intersection with the x-axis happen with x equal 4. When x equal 4, y equals 0. So the rectilinear line is this rectilinear line. So what it says that the two graphs, they have an intersection. So this graph, the first graph is the parabola. The parabola starts at 6, does like this. And the rectilinear line starts at 4 with a certain slope. I don't know how they will intersect, but for sure they will intersect in 2 points. And I need to find these 2 points of intersection. Okay, let's go to find the point of intersection. When this point will happen? This point will happen when the y of the rectilinear line is the same y of the parabola, of the inverted parabola. So it will happen when the y of the parabola is 6 minus x squared is equal to the y of the rectilinear line, 4 minus x. And this takes you to a quadratic equation that is x squared minus x. Now I see the 4 here, minus 2. And this equation should be equal 0. If you arrange all this term, you will find that this is the equation, x squared minus x minus 2. And how you will solve this equation? You will solve by the quadratic equation. Remember that ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 is being solved like x equal minus b plus minus square root b squared minus 4 times ac divided by 2a. If you do it here, you will find x equal minus b. b is minus 1, so minus b is plus 1, plus minus square root of b squared. b squared is 1 minus 4 times a by c. A is 1. You see the a that is multiplied the square is 1. Minus 4a, and the c is minus 2. 4 by 2 is 8 and is positive because it's minus 4 times a, 1, c minus 2 is 4. So divide by 2. By 2 times a, but a is 1. So divide by 2, so the x will be equal 1 plus minus a square root of 9, which is 3 divided by 2. Or in other words, 4 divided by 2, which is 2. Or 1 minus 3 is minus 2 divided by 2 minus 1. So these are the two x value for which they intersect the two graphs. So what is the point? The point is x equal 2 and y equal what? Wherever you find, you use whatever equation you find the inverted parabola of the rectilinear line, you will find the same y. So if I use the rectilinear line, y is 4 minus x. So 4 minus 2 is 2. So the point of intersection is the point 2, 2. Now if the x is minus 1, the y is I see in the rectilinear line, or I see in the inverted parabola, it will be exactly the same. If I see in the rectilinear line, when x equal minus 1, 4 minus 1 is 5. So it will be the point x equal 1, minus 1, y equal 5, I think. Let me see. 4 minus 5. So it's the point minus 1, 5. These are the 2 points of intersection. And the problem is solved. Let's go to the next one. The next one say find the slope of the line passing through the point 3 minus 4, 5, 2. Let's go to plugging to represent these 2 points. The point 3 minus 4 is the point 3 minus 4 is the point minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. This is the first point. Let's go to call this point P. And let's go to say that P is 3 minus 4. And let's say that this is the x1 and this is the y1. Perfect. And let's go to call the other point, the Q that is 5, 2. 5, 2, this is x2, y2. The x2 is 5, the y2 is 2. And what is the point Q? The point Q is 5. 5 is here. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is here, and 2 is here. This is the point 5, 2, and this is the point 3, minus 4. And between these 2 points, there is a rectilinear line that passes through these 2 points. This is the rectilinear line that passes, and there is a slope. What is the slope? The slope m is delta y divided by delta x. Or in other words, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So let me teach you how to do it very fast. The slope m for me is y2 minus y1. The distance between these is 2 here and 1, 2, 3, 4 here. The height is 6. So the slope is 6 divided by the rank. The rank from 3 to 5, from 3 to 5, the rank is 2. So the slope is 3. Let's go to do it applying the formula. The m is y2 minus y1. y2 is 2 minus y1 is minus 4 divided by x2. x2 is 5 minus x1 is 3. 2 minus minus 4 is 6. 6 divided 5 minus 3 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we found the slope of this curve. Can you find the rectilinear line that passed through these 2 points? Well, now we have the slope. The slope is m equals 3. What is the rectilinear line that passed through this point? It's y1 plus m multiplied by x minus x1. Let's go to find y equal y1. y1 is minus 4. Minus 4 plus m. m is 3. When the slope is positive, it means that you have a increasing function. When the slope is negative, it means that you have a decreasing function. In this case, the function is increasing because it's going every time the y is increasing. So it's y is 3 multiplied by x minus x1. The x1 is 3. Doing a little bit of algebra here, it will be 3x minus 9, or y equals 3x minus 9 minus 4 minus 13. So this is the equation of the rectilinear line that passed through the point PQ. Good, done. And of course, you can check that these have sense. For example, if x equal, let's say this. If x is equal 5, the y should be 2. So let's go to check here. When x equal 5, 3 by 5 is 15, 15 minus 13, the y is 2. It's perfect. I didn't make any mistake. This is the equation of the rectilinear line that passed through the point P and Q. Let's go to the next problem. This problem is for you. You already know how to do it. You cannot fail. And I'm going to tell you the answer for this point. The equation should be y of x equal to x minus 3. Please do it and check your result. Now let's go to do problem number 7 that says sketch the graph of the function y equal 1 minus x. Okay, you know how to graph this function y equal 1 minus x. Y equal 1 minus x is the graph of the function that when x equals 0, y equal 1, so you are here. And when y equals 0, x equal 1. So is this rectilinear line with a slope minus 1. Now, what is the line y equal minus 3? Y equal minus 3 is the line whose height is always minus 3. What is this line? The line whose height is always y equal minus 3 is this line, y equal minus 3, this line. And now we are going to draw the line x equal 4. What is the line x equal 4? The line x equal 4 is the line where x is equal 4 for all y. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. The line x equal 4 is this line, the vertical line x equal 4. So now these three lines intersect in one point. Can you tell me what is this point of intersection? What is this point of intersection? What is this point of intersection? It's a common point for the three of them, for the three lines. Which one it is? Is x equal 4, y equal minus 3. This is minus 3. So it looks that is the point 4 comma minus 3. The point 4 comma minus 3 looks to be the point of intersection. The x is 4, the y is equal minus 3, and if x is 4 here, 1 minus 4, if x is 4 here on the rectilinear line, if x is 4 here, 1 minus 4 is minus 3. So it's the point of intersection of the three lines. The three lines intersects at this point, 4 minus 3. Okay, let's go to the next problem. Now, problem number 8 says find the equation that pass through the point 2, 1. The point 2, 1 is here. The point 2, 1 is here. 2, 1 is this point. 2, 1. And is perpendicular to the line 5x minus 3y equals 0. The line 5x minus 3y equals 0 is the line where 5x is 3y, is the line when y equal 5/3 of x, is the line that have a slope how much? What is the slope of this line? It's 5/3. So it means that you go in the y direction, you go up 5 meters up and you move 3 meters to the right. So what I'm saying is like this. A slope, if the slope, let's say to put it easier, is m equal 2 or 3, whatever, means that delta y divided by delta x is 3. It means that delta y is 3 times delta x. It means that you move, you are in the point of the rectilinear line. So this is the rectilinear line, let's say. And you move 1 meter to the right and you go up 3 meters. Because if delta x is 1 meter, delta y is 3 meters. So when m is 5/3, means that this is the point of the rectilinear line. The rectilinear line will be like this. You move 3 meters to the right and you go up 5 meters. In this way, the slope is 5 divided by 3. This is the slope. y2 minus y1. These are the 2 points of the rectilinear line. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. x2 minus x1, it will be the 3, and y2 minus y1 will be the 5. Okay, what it say this thing? It say you have the slope, the graph, 5/3 of x. So when x equal 1, y equal 2. When x equal 3, on this graph, when x equal 3, y equal 5. So I plug in the number. When x equal 3, y equal 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is here. So, and when x equals 0, y equals 0. So what is the rectilinear line? Y equal 5/3 of x is this line. And what the problem is asking find the line that passes through the point 2, 1 and is perpendicular to the line y equal 5/3 of x. Which line will be this one? Will be one line that is perpendicular to this line and pass through the point. Let me do it again. Perpendicular means 90 degrees. So this angle will be 90 degrees. Wow, how I will find this? It's easy, it's not difficult. The m here is 5/3. What is the m of this one? The m of this one is negative because you see that now is not an increasing function for the blue one. It's a decreasing function. And it's minus 3/5. Why is minus 3/5? It's the inverse. It's the inverse of 5/3. It's minus 3/5. So this is the new slope. This is the new slope. So now the problem is to find the rectilinear line, the blue one, that passes through the point 2,1, and have a slope minus 3/5. Which one is this line? Is the line y equal y1 plus m multiplied by x minus x1. So it will be y equal y1. This is the x1, this is the y1. Y equal 1 plus m, but m is minus 3/5 multiplied by x minus x1. x1 is 2. And if I if I do a little bit of algebra, it will be 1 minus 3/5 of x plus 6/5. If I do a little bit of algebra, the line will be y equal 1 is 6 divided by 6 minus 3/5 of x plus 6/5. Because it's 6/5, I should write here not 6. I should write 5/5. So now 5/5 is 1. And 5/5 plus 6/5 is 11/5 minus 3/5 of x. Or in other words, y of x is 3/5 of x minus 3/5 of x plus 11 divided by 5. And this is the line that is perpendicular to the given line y equal 5/3 of x. Have the slope minus the inverse. And pass through the point 2,1. If you don't believe it, you plug in the number 2,1 and we see if I plug in the x equal 2 and we have to find the 1. So if x equal 2 here, if x equal 2 will be 6/5 minus 6/5 plus 11/5, it will be 5/5. So y equal 1. If x equal, sorry, I forgot. If x equal 2, y equal 1. Go? Let's go to do it. If x equal 2, y will be 3 minus 3/5 of 2 plus 11/5, or minus 6/5 plus 11/5, or 5/5, or 1. So y equal 1. If x equal 2, y equal 1, so this is the rectilinear line that passes through the point 2, 1 and is perpendicular to the line y equal 3/5. Wow. Done the problem. Determine the domain and the range of the square root function. So, when you have a square root function, the square root of a negative number doesn't exist. So the range is the set of all numbers with x bigger than 0. And if you are going to, and the range is when you plug in x equal 4, the square root of 4 will be 2. If you plug in x equals 0, the square root of 0 will be 0. When you plug in whatever number that you plug in, the y will be bigger or equal than 0. So the x is the domain. The domain should be bigger, the x should be bigger than 0. And the y is the range. The range should be bigger than 0. And the graph should be do like this. So this is y equal square root of x. You see that the x that are allowed are all the x that are positive. And the y that will come, the outcome, will be all the y's that are bigger than 0, all the y's. So this is the solution. Let's go to the next problem and we'll finish. The next problem says determine the domain and the range of the function f of x equal x cubed. F of x equal x cubed, there is no restriction for what the x should be, because if I plug in the x equal minus 1, what will be the y? The y will be minus 1 multiplied by minus 1 multiplied by minus 1 will be minus 1. So the x, the domain of this function, will be x, all x, for all x, from minus infinity to from x that is on the interval minus infinity to infinity. The domain is, and the range will be, to where I will go to see the range, I will plug in the function. The function y equal x is a function that does like this, y equal x cubed, that like this, and from here it takes negative value. It's symmetric respect to the y-axis. The domain is the set of all the points that you can arrive in the y-axis. If you take an x very far, like here, you can arrive to any y. So the range is y minus less than infinity, between minus infinity and infinity. So at the end, the domain and the range are all real numbers. So we can write the domain for this function, the domain and the range are all real numbers. Okay, that's all. I hope you can find useful this review. And thank you for listening. Good night.